Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So today we're going to continue the series on the MiSTer FPGA DE10 Nano project, and what we're going to be doing today is talking about all the progress of the Taki Udon MiSTer FPGA triple stack clone, as it seems like it's going to be very shortly up for sale and you'll be able to trade your money for a MiSTer triple stack. So we're going to be talking about all the hardware in the box, what you're going to be getting for your money, and whether or not I think you should actually purchase this thing, because it is going to be a ton of fun when it comes out. But of course, no one outside of Taki Udon has actually seen it running. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't run whatsoever. I am highly optimistic about this project, and I want that to be very clear off the top. Taki Udon has been very public about all of the development processes, where the project stands, showing off demos and everything such as that. So what I think we're really going to be in for is a very fun MiSTer FPGA alternative that should do the exact same thing as what a real Terasic made DE10 Nano would do, because it's using all of the same parts, just in a slightly different configuration. And this has gone through so many different iterations on packaging as well as hardware design, but now the final packaging is out, and I'll show you that in a moment, as well as some more progress and the ultimate pricing that you're going to be spending. And I get it, while a MiSTer FPGA is not cheap and Taki Udon's clone is going to be less expensive, you are still trading your money for a product and you want to know what you're getting. So this is the final packaging. Definitely has a Master System vibe going on to it, and while I actually don't really love the Master System graphics in general, I honestly also don't care what the box looks like. I am very interested in what's inside of the box, the DE10 Nano clone, the RAM, as well as the USB and the hub board as well. So really it doesn't matter to me what the packaging looks like. And again, we've seen so many different iterations of this board as it's gone under its development process, and now, as I stated in a previous video, all of the prices are here. You're going to be able to get a MiSTer triple stack for $160, but there are some changes in the contents of the box when you receive it, so we're going to go over that in maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. But honestly, this is a very competitive price. $160 to get your full MiSTer setup going is definitely going to be underneath what the current market cost is. Now, of course, they're going to be testing this when it arrives to make sure it's 100% compatible with every single core you would want to play, because $160 is a great price, but it has to do the exact same thing at that $160. And I have no reason to believe it's going to be anything other than a drop-in replacement, but of course, I'm still going to be testing this, and I'll be in line to order it like everybody else. I have not been receiving any offers for any review units, so I'll just have to pay my money and wait for it to ship, do an on-camera build and review for everyone here, and I'm sure everyone's going to want that. But comment down below and tell me if you're looking forward to it, because that is the thing. These pieces of hardware all have to work in conjunction. So you have a DE10 Nano under $100, and if that's all you want, you will be able to buy that separately, but I'm assuming most people are going to just go for the triple stack. If you also don't have a MiSTer today, you haven't gotten into the ecosystem yet, you're going to want all 3 boards. And if you do have a MiSTer, there really wouldn't be any reason to change out your USB board or your analog I/O board or your RAM, because you already have it built. But tell me down below, is this going to be your first MiSTer? Is it going to be your second or your third? I would be very curious. But of course, now we know the pricing, and it is very competitive, and you'll also again be able to buy those things separately. And people have asked if the clone DE10 is going to be compatible with other boards on the market, and Taki Udon says they work. So we'll have to test those as well when they come in. I'll take that clone DE10 and strap on some USB and I/O boards in my parts bin to make sure everything is 100% cross-functional, just in case people out there want to test it. I mean, honestly, the RAM should be a drop-in replacement. It is just RAM chips with the proper pinout, so really that wouldn't be a thing I think about all that much. It should just be one-to-one ready to go. But the USB hub and the I/O boards will be interesting to test on a real Terasic made MiSTer, and I'm always going to call the Terasic the real board. It is a clone, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not manufactured by Terasic. Now you will see here that unfortunately the power supply is no longer going to be in the box, and Taki gave people a vote as to what they would want to see as a replacement. What ended up winning was the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth USB adapter, which can be useful for your MiSTer FPGA setup. It is a bummer that there's not going to be a power supply in the box, but apparently that was going to extend out ordering by like 5 to 10 days or something like that. So you will need to bring your own power adapter, but because this is going to be using USB-C power delivery, you will have some options. On a traditional MiSTer setup, unless you're on pork chops, Pro I/O board, you're going to have usually a barrel jack or a power supply that either comes with your MiSTer or you supplied separately with certain voltage, amperages, and wattages. But of course with USB-C and power delivery, if you have something in your parts bin, you should be good to go. You will want to make sure it has enough amps as well as the proper wattage, and I will go over that when I get these boards and set them up, showing you what power supplies work for me, because you want to make sure the 5-volt rail always stays close to 5 volts. A lesser power supply, if it drops too low, can be slightly problematic. But we'll go over power supplies when the boards arrive. Now Taki Udon also posted some photos of the bare PCBs waiting for the pick and place machine, and if you're not aware on how these things are made, first you route out your PCB, which you're seeing here, the RAM, the I/O, everything else, and then it goes to the pick and place machine, which actually picks up all of the components and places them onto the PCB, solders them on, so it actually becomes something that's usable and not just a template like you see here. And this to me is always fun. I love seeing behind the manufacturing, and these are what the boards are going to get populated with. And you'll see here this would be an empty RAM module waiting for its actual RAM chips to go on, and then get the header soldered on so it can plug into the DE10 Nano. And this is all obviously promising. You can see everything in real time, and you'll see here this is what's going to be the clone DE10 board in and of itself. And if they're at pick and place, that means they've finalized the design and they're just waiting to go ahead and get them fully manufactured. And you'll see here from a previous video, Taki says they're going to be on sale at a company website. Now we don't know what that is. As soon as it is available for sale, I'll send a tweet out. I'm not going to be able to make a video that fast, and honestly wouldn't be the most entertaining video anyway. And as he mentioned before, the first run is going to be 2,000 batches, as is the second run, and I'm very curious to see how many people are going to order these. I don't know how many people out there want a MiSTer FPGA that don't already have one, so it will be curious to see what the sales go through as, and let's really hope these things don't end up getting scalped. But as far as a should you buy one if you don't have MiSTer FPGA yet, everything I've seen is very promising, and it seems like it's going to 100% deliver. Now of course I cannot verify that until the boards are in my hand and I test them, and I'm sure other channels are going to be doing the exact same thing, but there's no reason to think that this is going to be anything other than a really nice clone replacement for a Terasic made board. And you can see here he talks about the fact that it runs every single core you want it to, and that is just something as far as the grade of the FPGA chip on there could be affected, but it should be totally fine, good to go. And again, all of the pricing is here, so soon you should be able to order a MiSTer triple stack for $160. Of course you're going to have to deal with shipping and whatever relevant taxes you have. I have no idea what this is going to do VAT wise if you're actually importing it, so for me it's going to be like $160 plus shipping plus Chicago sales tax, which always suck, but your price is definitely going to vary, but it's still going to be an inexpensive product. So as far as should you pick one up, I can't think of any reason why not to. I will do a full build and review of these boards when they arrive to me, but in the meantime, if you see it go up for sale and you're interested in MiSTer FPGA, I think you should be totally fine ordering one of these and giving it a shot. If you have any questions, leave them down below, but otherwise we're pretty much done here. We're just waiting on that sales page to go live so I can order one with everybody else. But short of that, we'll see you guys next time with more Taki Udon clones. Bye bye.